Ryu, the poster boy of Street Fighter, has featured in every single Street Fighter game to date. By using techniques from the Shotokan fighting style, the Eternal Wanderer is constantly seeking to improve himself and seek the answers that lie within the heart of battle. Ryu's gameplay has been centered around his trademark move, the Hadoken, a massive blue projectile which travels across the screen horizontally. The regular Hadoken has 3 different travel speeds. The light version travels relatively slowly, whilst the heavy version travels much faster. If you really want to surprise the opponent though, then you can utilize the EX Hadoken, which is slightly faster than the regular versions, but more importantly, scores Ryu a knockdown. Use the different strengths of Hadoken to change up your fireball patterns. Be warned though, as Street Fighter V is littered with anti-projectile tools which can easily shut down this aspect of Ryu's gameplay. Another tool Ryu will have to utilize is his world-renowned Shoryuken, or Dragon Punch. Shoryuken is the go-to option for Ryu when it comes to stopping aerial approaches. The Shoryuken has been a potent move in Street Fighter games for decades, but follows a different rule set in Street Fighter V. For most characters, the medium version is the best counter to air attacks. The later you input the Shoryuken, the stronger it will be. Now, the EX Shoryuken is the ultimate version of the move. It's invincible to anything and everything in the game, can be used on wake up or to interrupt certain moves. Despite Shoryuken having fantastic properties, the move comes at a high price. If it whiffs or gets blocked, Ryu is left in a counter-hit state, which is the perfect opportunity for the opponent to land tremendous damage. When Ryu is close to the opponent, he's all about the strike-throw game. Standing medium punch is Ryu's main pressure tool and combo starter. Staggering standing medium punch whilst mixing in throws is always a good choice for Ryu. From slightly further away, Ryu can use crouching medium kick, which is an effective poke. Crouching medium kick has slightly further range than standing medium punch, but can also cancel into specials. Ryu can cancel it into Hadoken at certain ranges, or into EX Jordan Sokutogeri for big damage. Ryu's V-triggers are all about enhancing what he's already good at. The first V-trigger is called Denjin Renki. Denjin Renki enhances Ryu's combo potential, allowing him to inflict colossal damage to his opponents, as well as amplify the Hadoken. The Hadoken does more damage, and every version scores a knockdown. An extra addition to the V-Trigger 1 is that Ryu has the ability to charge Hadoken. This can help make Ryu's fireball game stronger, but more importantly, break the opponent's guard if charged to max. Ryu can combo from the guard break, but the damage will be severely weaker. Ryu's V-Trigger 2 is Kakofubatsu. Kakofubatsu gives Ryu access to his best parry, Isshin. When the parry is successful, the opponent is left in a crumple state, which allows Ryu to follow up with big damage. Ryu can also use Isshin as an attack version. Use this as a combo extender for any of Ryu's special attacks, and again, land tremendous damage. If Ryu uses Isshin incorrectly though, he's left wide open for huge punishment. Ryu is the benchmark for what a standard character is in Street Fighter games, from standard health and stun to having a well-balanced toolset. Unfortunately, in Street Fighter V, it's quite easy for some characters to circumvent his main tools and make things really difficult for Ryu. You can be offensive with his buttons and forward dash to really pile on the pressure, or have a more calm, defensive approach by using well-timed Hadokens. Find out what works for you, and have fun hitting players with some of the most iconic moves in video game history. Chun-Li is the first lady of fighting games. She's always been a character that embodies excellent control. Powerful strikes which cover certain ranges, and movement which allows her to find that ideal range. In Street Fighter V, her toolset has become enhanced as she has great combo flexibility due to the V system, allowing for more stylish combos while still maintaining dominance in the mid-range. With the combination of prevalent normal attacks and gracious movement, Chun-Li is here to show you why she's a force to be reckoned with. One of Chun-Li's strongest attacks, which is also a go-to option, is Standing Heavy Punch. This travels quite far and is also a heavy attack. This attack literally allows Chun-Li to establish control quite quickly. Do be careful though, because if it misses the opponent, it takes quite a bit of time to recover. Another attack which has similar benefits to Standing Heavy Punch is Chun-Li's Forward Medium Punch. This covers a similar distance, but the difference is that it comes out faster and is a safer poke in general. Use this button if you don't feel comfortable using Standing Heavy Punch. To get into attack ranges, Chun-Li can use the light version of her projectile, Kikoken. The light version travels the furthest horizontally and allows Chun-Li to walk behind it, which is a huge benefit to her gameplay, because it allows her to react to the opponent's next action whilst they focus on the projectile. Another offensive tool Chun-Li has which is extremely useful is EX Lightning Legs. This move costs meter, but is highly conducive to Chun-Li's gameplay. This punishes numerous moves in the game, is safe from punishment, and is a great combo ender. It's one of the quicker EX moves in the game too, so definitely use this. When it comes to Chun-Li's V-triggers, this is where the character truly shines. V-Trigger 1, Renkiko, magnifies Chun-Li's normal attacks by turning them into multiple hitting moves. Renkiko allows the player to become creative with combos that are not possible normally, and makes her pressure extremely threatening. V-Trigger 2, Kikosho on the other hand, is slightly different to Renkiko. The important thing to note here is that there are two versions of Kikosho, a non-charged version and a charged version. The non-charged version is what Chun-Li utilizes most because you can immediately go into it from her most powerful pokes. The charged version, however, is vastly different. When you hold down the buttons for a certain period of time, Chun-Li will release a huge blast that does more damage than its counterparts, but on block, breaks the opponent's guard. This gives Chun-Li an opportunity to start her offense. Overall, Chun-Li is fundamentally an amazing character, having fantastic pokes and special attacks, whilst also working extremely well within the V system. Chun-Li doesn't have many weaknesses, but if there's one downside to bring up, it would be that she struggles a bit against characters that can outrange her. This forces her to change up her core game plan. To optimize Chun-Li requires a fair bit of dexterity, but that shouldn't deter players who want to illustrate her strengths. If you like long-reaching pokes that can dictate a match, then pick Chun-Li and remind people why she is and always will be the first lady of fighting games. Charlie Nash, former captain of the US Air Force and Guile's friend and teacher. Last playable in Street Fighter Alpha 3, Nash made a comeback for Street Fighter V as an undead Avenger. Nash's gameplay underwent a substantial change while still keeping some of his original moves. Despite having some moves that are similar to Guile's, there's a clear distinction between the two. In Street Fighter V, Nash is classed as an elusive character who's all about the hit-and-run playstyle, making him very frustrating to fight against. Nash has a plethora of unique normals ranging from light to heavy attacks, but the most notable one is his jumping Sobat. This is probably Nash's best poke, as well as one of the longest reaching medium attacks in the entire game. He can use this to safely annoy his opponents and establish control mid-match. Another irritating tool Nash can use is another great poking option in his medium Sonic Scythe. This does more damage than his jumping Sobat and can be done from further away. When well spaced, this is difficult for most characters to deal with comfortably, but if poorly spaced, then Nash will get punished. Knowing the correct ranges for jumping Sobat and medium Sonic Scythe in open play is essential when playing Nash. Another crucial special attack Nash will want to use is his Sonic Boom, which works a little differently to Guile's. The projectile travels at 3 different speeds. The stronger the button used, the slower the projectile will travel. Now, if you want to add a slight variant to Nash's Sonic Boom, then by pressing any 2 punch buttons after inputting the first Sonic Boom, he'll throw out an EX version of the projectile. This will simultaneously put 2 Sonic Booms on screen, and Nash can move behind them. Another thing to note is if Nash has the opponent locked down in the corner, then he can just use the EX version as part of a pressure sequence to help maintain his offense. When it comes to Nash wanting to make a comeback, then this is where V-Trigger 2, Stealth Dash, can greatly assist him. Stealth Dash is where most of Nash's huge damage comes from, and has some important moves to note. The first one is the Stealth Dash itself. The dash makes Nash travel horizontally quite fast to get up close. From here, Nash has three options. The first one is called Justice Corridor, where Nash comes from the air and strikes down at the opponent. He can use this to surprise them. This move has benefits on both hit and block, so don't be afraid to use this. The second thing Nash cancels into is called Justice Shell. Its main use outside of combos is as an anti-projectile tool. This is a great way to mount a comeback against characters who possess a projectile. The final option is the Stealth Dash cancel by pressing backwards. This will stop Nash in his tracks during the dash to mount a surprise attack. Nash's playstyle in Street Fighter V is all about being evasive by making it difficult for opponents to really pin him down. However, once Nash does get pinned down, it can be hard for him to shake off the opponent, especially if they excel at pressure, because he doesn't have a physical hitting V reversal. So in a nutshell, use Nash's jumping Sobat to get them to respect the space it covers, whilst rotating between his other unique normals. And once enough space has been created, use medium Sonic Scythe to box the opponent out. If you enjoy a hit-and-run playstyle and want a fun alternative to Guile, then Charlie Nash might just be the pick for you. Thank you for watching. These character overviews are made possible by our generous patrons. For $1 a month, you can help support projects like this, and also get bonuses like early access to videos, and your name listed here. Up next is M. Bison, Cammy, and Birdie.